Good evening and welcome to the commencement of the Heritage Class of 2013. My name is Candler Rich, and I am proud to say that I am a member of the best Heritage Class ever. Sitting in front of you tonight is a group comprised of scholars, artists, actors, athletes, and Mr. Legit Grayson Parker. Although our class represents such a broad range of students, we've always been a very tight-knit group. Evidence of how close our class is begins as early as second grade, when someone kissed Brandon Ellis behind the lower school playground. Our class has seen adversity as well as triumph, but remain intimate throughout all times. The relationships we have developed during our tenure at Heritage have provided us with a supportive background that will continue to assist us throughout our lives. From the time I walked into pre-K 3 wearing a very feminine alligator outfit, until the moment I hoisted my most prized award, the Jubilee Trophy, the relationship with my classmates has always been the most important part in my development at Heritage. Today, you see 4 students who were in our original pre-K 3 class with Miss Sandy Hester when apparently nap time was a bad thing. I vividly recall every day of pre-K 3 recess consisting of Evan Laughlin, Elliott Smith, and me pretending to be dogs when Chaney Thomason was our dog trainer. Although today I do not spend my XLs barking on all fours while being called by my dog name of Haley, I continue to cherish those moments spent forming our first friendships. As we progressed throughout the ELC, we began to recruit more and more potential prospects for the class of 2013. The first day of pre-K 4, we brought in this new kid from Douglasville who had long blonde hair like he had just come from shredding gnarly waves in California. Seth Stewart took one step into our classroom and burst into tears, not wanting to leave his mother. From this day forward, every first day of school, Seth has continued his tradition, and by bursting into tears at the sight of his mom leaving. As kindergarten came along, we brought in a large bulk of students of whom you see today, including Garrett Jones, who was already 6'3" and could dunk a basketball. Times were rough in kindergarten for young Candler, as Richard Ebersbach was actually a good bit faster than me, and every recess consisted of trying to conquer the dreaded tire swing. Lower school quickly came as we were introduced to a whole new workload. We were forced to rally around each other as comrades, attempting to make it through spelling tests and reading comprehension checks. Luckily, from a boys' standpoint, there were only a few girls throughout our entire lower school career, thus limiting the amount of cuties and crushes we were so eager to avoid. To this day, my favorite field trip was to Westville in 3rd grade. It was our first spend-the-night event as a class where we stayed in covered wagons in the country. Our class bonded throughout the entire field trip and comforted each other in the midst of terrifying ghost stories. In the morning, we woke to horrific news. Grant Neesmith was missing. Taylor Wooldridge and I quickly acted as we sprinted a whopping 3 miles through the woods in search for Grant, only to find that he was in the covered wagon the whole time. Later discovered it was only about 50 yards, but 3 miles sounds better. Through the awkward years and hairstyles of middle school, there were several scandalous couples, but none to tear our stronghold apart. Slowly, our class began to increase in numbers, as I worried that the tight-knit feel would soon depart, but I was so wrong. As our class grew, we only became closer. We fought through the difficult times of Mr. Brown's World History class and being jammed into one-person tents on the Skidaway trip. Also, we will always remember our Washington, D.C. bus driver, Jesse Washington. The only thing any of us wanted to do on the bus was sleep, but sweet Jesse Washington was persistent in keeping us awake. Every time I began to slowly drift off to sleep, I was jolted awake at the sound of him shouting, "Jesse Washington!" High school quickly came along, and I began to discover aspects of our class that one could be certain of. It became apparent that Garrett Jones is the nicest, most dependable person anyone could ask for, and that Seth Stewart is undoubtedly the best dancer on the planet. I learned from Joe Bonner, Alex Carter, and Kyle Kimsey the true meaning of friendship and loyalty, and what it means to have one another's back. I've also discovered instances that one should avoid when involving our class, such as making Coach Clay walk 2 miles to the beach in Cumberland. He will complain. Or waking up at 5:30 to look for the golden egg, but that might have only been me. And unless you want to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to an obnoxious turkey call alarm, don't room with Tyler Nix. It is also in the best interest of English teachers to just go ahead and give up on me when it comes to poetry. Fourth grade was the highlight of my poetic career as I wrote a 5-word lyrical masterpiece that has struck fame across the entire school and possibly the world. The poem titled Pueblos read as follows. Pueblos, clay, dirt, logs, Pueblos. Our class continued to grow as we began to fall into our own niche within the Heritage School. Personally, sports and competition became an integral part of my life. The relationships formed and the life lessons learned on the sporting field have made a profound impact on me. Because of that, I owe thanks to all my teammates and coaches throughout my high school career. To me, you are much more than my teammates and coaches, but rather my family. My experience with sports is only a small example of what is so great about Heritage. This connections between students, teachers, coaches, and parents extends through all aspects of our school. In recollection of my 13 years at Heritage, I recognize it is far more than a place to learn and grow. Heritage is a place where you can play in the same outfield as your older brother and coach your younger one in intramural basketball. A place where support and encouragement is always in surplus. A place where you can go golfing with your calculus teacher. And a place where a blue ribbon and the number 8 symbolize far more than words could ever express. Heritage is a family. And because of this remarkable family we call our school, we have been provided with something far more important than any tangible object, an opportunity. Not only an opportunity to advance to the next stage of our lives, but an opportunity to succeed and excel in all that we do. Heritage has bestowed upon us an exceptional foundation by which we can succeed in life. But now, as we exit the pecan grove one final time, the ball is in our court. We have become the director, and we create our own landscape, because it is now our obligation to take advantage of this tremendous opportunity. From this point on, our hard work and dedication will ultimately determine our future success. While I exit this wonderful 13-year home of mine somewhat emotionally, I exit primarily grateful. Grateful for all the relationships and connections I have made throughout my tenure. Grateful for the undying support I have been granted at all times. And most importantly, alongside the class of 2013, grateful for the incredible opportunity we have been provided from our teachers, our coaches, our parents, our peers, and our heritage. Thank you.